First government shutdown in nearly 7 years. Yes, this is happening. It officially began at midnight because lawmakers and President Trump failed to reach a deal. Both sides are now in a bitter fight over spending priorities and blaming the other. According to one estimate, up to 750,000 workers could be furloughed every day, costing them $400 million in pay every day.
Usually these shutdowns get headed off because one side blinks or there's a last-minute agreement, but this time neither of those things happened. And so as of this morning, the federal government is technically out of cash. How long will it last? No one knows.
After Congress failed to reach a deal last night, tens of thousands of federal workers will be told to stay home today, furloughed without pay. Workers deemed essential, like air traffic controllers and members of the military, will stay on the job, though they won't get paid for now either.
Baby, let me tell you something right now. America done did it again. We in the middle of another government shutdown. Like, how many times y'all gonna turn the lights off and on like this is a broke down apartment complex? Every year it's the same thing. Folks in Congress bickering like some messy family at a cookout. Meanwhile, regular people out here stressing about whether they're going to get their paycheck. Child, it's ghetto in D.C. Now, for anybody that don't know what a government shutdown is, basically, when Congress can't agree on how to spend money, the whole thing just stops. Like your mama taking her purse and saying, ain't nobody eating till I figure this out. Government workers sent home are told to work with no pay. Parks closed, benefits delayed. Baby, this ain't no little thing. This affects real people. But the folks causing it, they still getting paid. Ain't that a mess? Let me break it down for you. TSA workers at the airport still gotta work, but no check. So don't be surprised if they let your cousin's big jug of lotion slide through because they too tired to care.
Most TSA officers live paycheck to paycheck.
Aaron Barker works for TSA in Atlanta.
If it gets to that point where officers can't afford to come in or have to make a decision whether to purchase medication, pay daycare, or put gas in the car to come to work, they're going to have to make that hard decision, and no one really wants to do that.
But they may have to, because late last night, a funding bill did not pass the Senate. It needed 8 Democrats. It got 3.
You know, the only real victim here is the American people. This is so unnecessary and uncalled for.
Democrats were holding out for an extension of Obamacare premium subsidies and changes to Medicaid.
Our guarantee is to the American people that we're going to fight as hard as we can for their health care.
President Trump is warning his administration might use the funding lapse to push through more mass layoffs. I asked him about that yesterday.
How many federal workers do you plan to lay off?
Well, we may do a lot, and that's only because of the Democrats.
Later in the Oval Office, he upped the ante, claiming that all the workers who lose their jobs will somehow come from one party.
We'd be laying off a lot of people that are going to be very affected, and the Democrats, they're going to be Democrats. A lot of good can come down from shutdowns. We can get rid of a lot of things that we didn't want, and they'd be Democrat things.
The uncertainty has left workers like Barker to wonder if their jobs could be on the chopping block.
It's one thing to say, hey, you may not get paid, but then to say you may not get paid forever, we're going to remove you from your job, is a whole nother thing. It's just the worst case scenario.
See, this right here is why you can't depend on nobody's government to feed you. Baby, one minute you got a check, next minute they playing politics with your rent money. No, ma'am. That's why I had to find me a plan B. And listen, I ain't talking about no scam, no pyramid scheme, no selling your cousin a miracle tea. I'm talking about building real income online. That's where Wealthy Affiliate came in for me. They teach you step by step how to build an online business, real training, real community, no fluff. You learn how to create websites, promote products, and actually make money while you sleep. Now, baby, that's freedom, not this shutdown mess. So if you tired of waiting on the government to get it together, do yourself a favor. Click that link down below in the pinned comment, join Wealthy Affiliate, and start building your own check. Because while they're arguing in Washington, you could be arguing with yourself about which new shoes to buy, period. Now back to the video. Military families, sometimes left in limbo about pay.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
We have some news right now. We're more than 8 hours into a government shutdown, and there appears to be no signs of the government reopening anytime soon. So let's talk about who is getting paid and who isn't getting paid during this government shutdown. Who is getting paid? President Donald Trump will receive his federal salary, $400,000 a year, although he does donate it every quarter. Members of Congress will be getting paid as well, Republicans and Democrats alike. Some members of Congress say they're not going to accept a paycheck. Others say that they have to survive. Let's talk about who isn't getting paid. Air traffic controllers not getting paid, but will have to work. Active duty military not getting paid, but will have to work. National Guard troops deployed by Donald Trump not getting paid, but will have to work. There are a number of federal civil servants that will not be getting paid and also will not have to work. So anyone from a janitor in the federal government to HR to others, anyone who is deemed, quote, non-essential. So while Congress gets paid, the federal government will not for what looks like a long period of time. Spread the word. As always, follow along for all the news you need to know about.
Well, they fucking did it. They shut the government down, bro. They shut the government down. And what does that mean for my service members? Well, they didn't create a payout act. So until they resolve this issue, you're not getting paid. Service members will not be getting paid until this issue is resolved. How do you tell a soldier to come to work if they ain't getting paid? How do you motivate a soldier? They got bigger shit to worry about. They got to figure out their bills. How you supposed to handle that and maneuver that? Yes, you get back pay whenever they fix this. But come on, bro. Come on. Navy Federal and USAA are offering or will be offering loans with 0% APR. So essentially, they're just going to give you your paycheck, and when you get your back pay, you pay them back. But this shit is just, it's, I don't know, man.
Some of y'all gonna be upset when I say this, but this is the reason why I am thankful that I am in the military. When I say the military is the best thing that ever happened to me, and the benefits, today is the reason why I'm still going to get a paycheck. For those of you who do not know, the government is in shutdown status, furlough, because they're trying to figure out the budget. So there's a lot of people that either got furloughed, which means they won't get paid, or civilians that work in the hospital with me, they have to come to work, but they'll get paid on the back end, but basically they kind of working for free. There are military people who just joined the military this year who have never experienced this. And I will say to those people, get with your units, get with your organizations, because there is funding. There are programs out there that can assist you. But this is the reason why I stress that people need to have savings, emergency savings. You never know what's going to happen. But for the people that was in my comments the other day, like, I don't know if I should join the military. And I know it's a lot going on politically right now. But I'm still thankful at the end of the day that I'm active duty, I got a job, and I'm getting a paycheck.
Federal workers, they still got to pay rent, still got to feed their kids, but the government, like, oop, our bad. Meanwhile, the politicians sitting up in their leather chairs arguing about bills like it's a monopoly game. And we the ones in jail every time they land on boardwalk. So why do shutdowns happen? One word. Pettiness. Democrats want this. Republicans want that. And instead of compromising like grown folks, they throw tantrums. It's like two kids fighting over the Xbox controller. But instead of just passing the controller, they unplug the whole TV. And guess who suffers? The people. Always the people.
President Trump continues to taunt Democratic leaders about all this on social media, posting another AI-generated video of House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, which is similar to an earlier one that Jeffries called bigoted. He also posted these photos of their Oval Office meeting on Monday with Trump 2028 hats prominently displayed on his desk. A nod, Tony, to a potential third term that the law does not allow.
Now, baby, here's the part nobody talk about. Every time we shut down, America looks weak. Other countries looking at us like, Y'all can't even pay your own workers but want to tell us how to run our house. The economy takes a hit. Credit ratings get downgraded. Small businesses that depend on government contracts, they be hurting. And let's be real, this only widens the gap between the rich and the poor. Politicians ain't losing no meals, but everyday folks, they the ones crying at the kitchen table trying to stretch a dollar. And this is the part that get me emotional, y'all. I know single moms working for the government that gotta take out payday loans just to cover groceries during a shutdown. Families missing mortgage payments, people wondering if their benefits gonna show up. And then after the shutdown, ends, they don't get no extra, just the same paycheck they should have had weeks ago. How is this fair? How is this the richest country in the world, but we playing games with people's livelihoods? The truth is, America don't have a money problem. We got a priority problem. There's always money for wars, for billion-dollar companies, for tax breaks for the rich, but when it comes to paying workers on time, suddenly it's, we don't know if we can fit that in the budget. Baby, stop the madness. Regular people are tired of being pawns in these politicians' ego battles. We need leaders, not babysitters throwing tantrums. So the next time you hear government shutdown, don't just roll your eyes. Know that it's real people out here suffering. And we gotta keep calling it out. Because if they can't handle the basics, like paying folks on time, then maybe they don't deserve them fancy seats in Washington, period.
As many of you already know, the government is officially in a shutdown, and so many employees are being affected by this. They're being faced with furlough, the possibility of being fired, but most importantly, they're not getting a paycheck. Several banks like USAA, Navy Federal, other credit unions, I'll list in this video here, are offering 0 interest loans, paycheck protection, and other deferred payment options. These programs are obviously not automatic, so if you were an employee who was furloughed, you must obviously provide proof of furlough status, but in most cases, the assistance will cover up to 1 month of pay with no interest charge for the first 30 to 60 days. If you are a federal employee who's affected by the shutdown, please contact your bank or any other credit union to see if or how you qualify. If you have any questions about any of the banks that I listed in this video, I'll be more than happy to help do any research for you. As always, please stay positive, and I hope you have a great Wednesday.
All right, y'all. Drop your thoughts in the comments. How y'all feel about this shutdown mess? Because, baby, I'm tired. And don't forget to subscribe. We're going to keep telling the truth whether they like it or not. See you in the next one.